Back again, you guys. As of today, I have 900 subscribers, and for 900 subscribers, I'd like to tell y'all all something about the 80-20 rule. Now, as you all know, you only get 80% of what you want, and the other 20 looks real good when you ain't getting it. But I'm going to tell you how to cope with that real quick. Stay tuned. As you all know, this whole 80-20 situation is quite frequent in most people's lives. More so for relationships than anything else. So I'm going to deal with relationships directly. Now, guys, we've all had that girl, still have that girl, that gives up the nicest 80 she can. With that other 20, she just won't budge. Now, I know y'all expecting me to say some shit like, fuck around and go find a girl who do get that 20. But don't. The way I see it is, eventually, the 80 and the 20 have to come together. They have to come together to make the full 100% plan. You got everything you want. 100% pure whatever the fuck you want. But on the other hand, sometimes the 80 and the 20 don't come together. Sometimes the 80 that you thought you had slowly becomes the 20, and the 20 becomes the 80. Now, when that event happens and everything reverses and goes backwards, that's when you need to start applying a little bit of pressure, bit by bit by bit. Because you don't want that 80 to slip. You're trying to get the 20. Now, it's so easy to go out and find a 20 with another female. But think about it this way, guys. Think about this for 1 second. Now, suppose you find that 20 and you think everything's so perfect, you can't get caught up with that 20 in any way, shape, or form because you watched my video on how to cheat and you follow the guidelines. That is also true. But there is that 80-20% goes to that video as well. 80% says you won't get caught. 20% says you will. Now, as far as that 80-20 goes, best advice I can tell y'all is to work through it. You have 80 already. You don't want to leave 80 for 20. You don't want to fuck around with 80 and fuck around with 20 and end up with 0 because 80 and 20 just like, no, this isn't going to happen. More than likely though, if you're getting 80, your 20 is probably your sideline hoe, so she ain't going nowhere. But in the event that your 80 ain't playing that shit and ain't having that, she's like, nah, that's not happening. Not the 80-20. No. We're not the only ones that know about the 80-20 rule. Females know about the 80-20 rule as well. And females, they get the 80-20 rule as well. Because maybe a female has a guy who's willing to pound all night long, but won't eat the cooch. Hey, some guys don't do it. But I don't. But when you have that 80, treat that 80 like it's 100. Because if every time you bring up to her that I'm only getting 80% of what I want and I want the other 20, she gonna feel like you don't appreciate nothing. And that's where you done jizzed up. Now that you know you've jizzed up in that, the way to get back to it is to treat that 70 that you get now, because you just brought up the 20 that you don't have, so it ended up being 30 that you don't have. I say you try to do something to get back with that 80, because eventually 80 has to go to 100. It can't stay at 80 forever, because that's when stuff like cheating occurs. I'm not gonna say don't cheat. I'm not gonna say cheat. I'm just gonna let you know, for the females and the males, more so females, because niggas don't really. You know what I'm trying to say. More so, the cheating occurs because you're not getting that 20. Back to working into that 20. You get that 20 when you prove you are worthy. When you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that in her mind, she's thinking, this nigga deserves this 20. Now, females, I know we try to play it off when you say, you're going to give us that 20. But in our minds, we thinking some shit like, oh, yes, thank you, Lord. That 20 done finally came. My prayers have been answered. Now, how about that 20? I mean, babe, no, that's cool and all, but you don't have to do it raw. Babe, you better get this 20 shit going, and I mean now. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. More than likely, it's all of us, because we all think the same. So, like I said, when you're getting that 80 and you want the other 20, you work for that 20. You make her feel as though she owes you that 20. Like, if she don't give you that 20, shit gonna get real. And the way I see it is, if you don't get the 20, you just done failed. But anyway, that's the 80-20. That's all I got to say about it. You know, I don't really sit up and talk as much as I used to on my old videos. So if there's anything I feel like I missed, any other dumb stuff that I could have possibly thrown in here, let me know. And that part about the thought process, yeah, that's real.